my quarrel with Invicta is also not the pro diver. I think everyone misunderstood what I was saying. My point was most people in the non-watch world will look at an Invicta as a premium product for some reason. They see the pro diver and they're like, oh, I own an Invicta, and they'll flex it. And I'm like, it's not a flex. You bought this for $30. The comparison is always, this is the better Submariner. I'm like, no, it's not. You can't fucking compare an Invicta to a Rolex. People will be like, this Invicta is so amazing, and then ignore every other design that exists that is $300 for like this bedazzled piece of shit. What's up, guys? Welcome back to BTL episode number 32, 31.
Felix loves naming an episode. Jesus Christ.
You know what? We're going to keep it consistent all the way till the end of the year. Today, we have a lot of news or things to go through. The biggest watch news that's happened so far recently has been the Pop Swatch, the AP Swatch collaboration. We have a little bit more information since it's been a week and a half since it's been released.
Yeah.
So we're going to dive into whether or not this thing failed, completely utterly failed in different aspects, or if it's a good success.
But first, let's do a wrist check.
All right, so I got a watch brand called Sortie watches. They're BH1000 Stealth Black. They have this kind of pilot watch. It gives me real IWC vibes. It's nice. It's a beautiful watch in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I think overall it's a nice watch for the price. Yeah. But
what about you?
Today I'm wearing my Audemars Piguet, and it's the Royal Oak. It's the rose gold version, and I'm wearing it specifically because we're going to be talking about AP a lot today in this Swatch AP collab, and I thought it was fitting to put this bad boy on.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good choice. Let's get into what is happening with this Pop Swatch. Since release, right? We've seen a couple things. We've seen specifically the secondary market took a big dip very, very quickly. So you saw the Pop Swatch watches pre-release going for like $1,500, give or take. Very quickly, those prices went from like $1,500 to like $3,000-$4,000, and then now it's like back to like $1,200, $800 for different watches that people.
I think
like.
Depends on the color combo, right?
Yeah, it depends on the color that you want.
I think that what we saw on social was mainly a bunch of flippers. So all of the chaos, people arguing, fighting, stores closing down was mainly because flippers are just there to try to make a quick buck. They don't care about etiquette. They don't care about trying to get a watch that they're personally going to keep and own. And what we have found on the other side of that is a bunch of watch collectors aren't really interested in having a pocket watch. And I think that that's driving the secondary market back down.
Unfortunately, for people who actually just wanted to see it and maybe own it, probably can't get their hands on it for a little while. But the fortunate part is the resellers and scalpers and everyone that's trying to make a quick buck out of this, I would say a majority of them are not going to be able to do that anymore.
There is a good side to these collabs, but they just get stained all over when people act like this.
Yeah, I agree. Swatch released a statement themselves saying two things. It's not limited, and also they're going to keep upping, production up until they really can't. So it's going to keep existing, and I think shortly after we saw prices start dipping because people realized they're like, well, let all the scalpers just, freak out for a while. I'll just buy it at retail when it's available again. This is more for like the general audience,
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I'm completely fine. I'm fine with this collab as it sits. I'm glad they actually didn't make a Royal Oak Swatch collab. And I think that it is good, probably for a younger generation that loves to put stuff on backpacks, loves to put stuff, maybe hanging in their car or whatever it is that they're going to be using it for. It's more decorative fashion.
It's like the watch version of Labubu, very expensive.
Yeah.
Decorative. It's not supposed to be anything crazy. Just to show off a little bit.
Yeah. And I think that I would say most watch collectors are probably going to think you're pretty douchey for putting it on a bracelet.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're an actual collector.
I mean, I would like to see how that looks like in person. I don't care to ever own one and put it like that. If I ever own one, it's going to be really cheap if I ever buy it, and it's not going to be worn on the wrist.
So the interesting thing that I've read over and over again is that because AP lost the patent to the Royal Oak, that was a big push for this collab. There was a suit filed, and AP lost it, and apparently once that set a precedent, they've lost the patent worldwide. So with that in mind, they were like, okay, how can we take advantage of something that is iconic to us? And maybe it's conspiracy, I'm not sure, but there's a lot of people that believe that was a big push for this collaboration.
Was this a success or failure? I would say that it's a failure for the flippers, right? The resellers or whatever. And I would say it's a success for Swatch. And I think APs are more neutral. Like, you know, like the success for them is the younger fan base that's going to now want to be interested maybe one day in the brand more in the future as they get older. But success for the watch collector or like the like people like us, do you feel like there's a success there?
No, I don't think it's a success for us. I don't know very many people that were really wanting to get this. Okay, so now we're going to jump into comments that people have made on our channel, whether that's in a video or whether that's been posted on Reddit. Or
Mean comments, by the way.
Felix is going to read it. Some of these are really, really long, so he may paraphrase, and then I'm just going to react to it.
You are probably the most judgmental person I've ever seen on YouTube. Are you seriously that worried about what kind of leather you use for a freaking strap, man? You're going to really be that conscious about whether you use alligator or lizard for different events?
Yeah.
You get that rock emoji. It's like this.
Right. So this was a comment left on 10 watch rules every man should know, even rich people. The video itself is talking about the etiquette of wearing a watch. And you don't have to subscribe to it, but if you're somebody that likes to understand etiquette, whether that is clothing, whether that is behavior, whether that is accessories, i.e. watches, then it's a good video. And he's trying to poke, he's trying to make fun of the fact that I talked about where an alligator should be worn and where a lizard should be worn. And I went through a bunch of different stuff in that video. So am I being judgmental? No, I don't necessarily give two whether or not somebody's wearing alligator or lizard. I was just making an educational video for people that were interested in what the meaning behind certain things is.
Yeah, I can agree with you on that. I think this is a silly take.
We'll pop up the full comment, right? It's going to not be up there long enough for you to read everything.
Yeah,
I'm going to paraphrase. I'm convinced this entire watch channel is fake and run by actors. Real hobbyists start small, but these guys appeared out of nowhere with a full production crew. Their scripts feel entirely AI generated because they're full of bizarre inconsistencies and glaring rookie mistakes, like quoting a $50,000 price for a steel Rolex. A true watch enthusiast would catch that instantly. Overall, they just copy and paste popular blogs to chase trends. There's no real passion or personality here. My BS detector is completely going off. This is definitely on your video.
Yeah,
I remember reading
on the Rolex video, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So here's the truth. We are paid by Rolex to make these videos. No, this is so stupid. I remember reading this and be like, "This who thinks this way?" By the way, our origin story, which we have talked about a long time ago, but I guess this has been a while, is my background is videography. Your background is very business forward. We've met together. We've launched this channel together. You have a huge history of watches. I'm the new collector. That's a good snippet of what this channel is.
Right.
So all that being said, the reason the production quality, which by the way in the beginning was not the world's best, it was good because of my base, but it's not where we're at now, is because of all of that. And then the other part of that is the whole copy and paste, chasing trends. We have our own original opinions. Yes, there's a general consensus on everything, like the pop swatch stuff that we have that might be the overall consensus of collector community. But I would also feel like we have pretty big contrarian takes. Sometimes you have really crazy takes. I have really crazy takes. Sometimes we disagree. Sometimes we're on the same page.
I would say that when I look at the landscape of watch creators, we are one of the most original, authentic, thought-provoking channels.
Yeah.
100%. And to talk about a couple of things, yes, he's talking about bizarre inconsistencies. That is between presenters themselves, because we all have a different take. And then, yes, sometimes we get stuff wrong. I would challenge anybody to put together a list of 20 watches and know every single detail about all 20 watches.
And then do it the same time next week, every week.
And then have to do it again the week after. And so sometimes we misspeak. Sometimes when we are putting all of that spec down, we accidentally put the wrong thing down. I have a really good friend that has a 1 million sub channel, and he's in the like the gun space. And he talks about making mistakes as a 1.5 million subbed channel. He has been doing guns forever. He works with the FBI. He is certified to give concealed carry lessons, and he makes mistakes. Yeah. It fucking happens, guys.
We're humans. It's gonna happen.
Like with all of the specs, it just happens.
And sometimes the translation between our editor and ourselves, sometimes we can have it right, and the editor just doesn't understand necessarily what we're trying to say. There's a lot of things that happen in the background. I do appreciate the comment that we appeared out of nowhere with a full production crew, because we just started with mainly just Jason and I. So that's very flattering. Thank you for feeling that way. We have grown a little bit since then, but even then, we're a small team.
This is fun. This is your video too. Okay. Jack of Diamonds said, I disagree on Invicta. Everyone knows the pricing scheme is a gimmick. Less than $100 for an automatic with an NH35 is always a good value, as long as the rest of the watch isn't complete garbage, which it isn't in this case. I also disagree about Rolex. Their prices have a lot to do with the logo and borderline criminal sales practices. You gloss over that, but blast Invicta? I don't get it.
Let me help you understand. The NH35 movement, I have no quarrels with. I think it's a good entry-level, robust movement, as long as you're not paying over $200, $300. My quarrel with Invicta is also not the pro diver. I think everyone misunderstood what I was saying. My point was most people in the non-watch world will look at an Invicta as a premium product for some reason. They see the pro diver and they're like, oh, I own an Invicta, and they'll flex it. And I'm like, it's not a flex. You bought this for $30. And then they'll be like,
well, maybe they didn't.
Well, depends.
I'll add a layer when you're done.
Yeah. Like the comparison is always, this is the better Submariner. I'm like, no, it's not. I don't love the Submariner. I think it's an iconic watch. I appreciate it. And there are other watches I would buy over it, but I'm like, you can't compare an Invicta to a Rolex and say either whatever. And I never made the point that brands have nothing to do with logos or watches have nothing to do with logos. I think that's actually a huge part of marketing, is whether or not a brand is attached to that watch. A lot of people, I think, misunderstood what I was saying, because in my opinion, either didn't really listen or I misconstrued, which I will take fault if that's the case. What were you going to say?
The first time I was ever exposed to Invicta was on a cruise. And so Invicta was all over cruise ships. And you got to go back 20 years or so.
Probably still might be.
It probably is still a cruise ship watch. I don't know. I don't cruise very much. But, I mean, even back then, Invicta would have $3,000, $5,000 price tags on them. And then what would happen is you would spend $3K, get an Invicta, and then come to find out you could only sell it for, $100, $200, $300. So who knows? I mean, the guy that made the comment, maybe he spent an awful lot for his Invicta.
Yeah.
But there are people out there that have way overpaid for Invicta. I never bought one. I remember when I looked at them, I just didn't like their design language.
Yeah, it's too loud.
Right. And I didn't really know any better. I was like, wow, I can't believe this is a $3,000 watch and it's so fucking ugly. Yeah. That's what I thought.
The audacity of people still defend Invicta. Whatever, take away the pro diver, you can have it. It's an okay watch for the specs. Fine, I still think it's ugly. But people will be like, this Invicta is so amazing, and then ignore every other design that exists that is $300 for like this bedazzled piece of shit.
So what video was this on?
All right, this is on Watch Expert. Brutally ranks every watch brand for 2026, which Jason did a tier list on. So Latan said, not sure why you need to swear when there are kids watching your channel. Bad role model, motherfucker. Oh, I added that at the end. But
yeah. I think this is a fair point.
Yeah, people say it all the time.
I think it's a fair point. I cuss.
He has a potty mouth.
I have a bad potty mouth. So I don't really have a good defense for that. Honestly, I wish I didn't cuss as much as I do, but I do cuss. I'm 40, almost 48 years old. I don't think it's going to change anytime soon.
No, I will say on the main channel, we do try to be more mindful of swearing. I think more than obviously this channel, we're a little bit more unhinged. But I do understand most people's points. Hey, I wish you didn't curse so much in your videos. I want my son to watch this with me, whatever.
Yeah, I get it. I don't have a good defense, guys. I'm really sorry if it offends you.
I do have a defense. It's
What's
an
your
adult
defense?
channel, you know? Like, you watch most adult media.
That can be a defense. That video in specific, I mean, it's just being honest. But that video specifically was much, it was an outline.
Yeah.
Essentially. But anyways, yeah. I'm sorry, man.
You're probably offended. You have a child profile picture, too.
So we have a comment here. On your video,
7
levels of watch collecting. Frank Park 3777 said, "What reality is this? Who gets a $50,000 watch as their first watch? Who only buys Rolex? What rooms are these people in that there's Rolex on every wrist? BS."
Okay, Mr. Frank Park. First of all,
I'm in a lot of those rooms.
Whose reality? Yeah, we are all the time. Whose reality is this? Yes, there are people whose this is their story. Is it everybody's? No, because not everyone goes into a Rolex AD with $100K in their bank account. But some people do. Some people have retirement money. They've come on a lot of money. Pause. If you read any other comments, some people are like, this is my story. Like, they made me buy a gold watch at 20, 30K, whatever. It happens all the time because they're selling either secondary watches that are pre-owned at a higher price point or a gold Rolex because it's better for margins for the AD and for Rolex in general.
It's your perspective. Frank Park, I can understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
20 years ago, I would maybe a Submariner was, I don't know, probably around 7K, 6,500, somewhere around there. I would think to myself, who the hell buys a $6,500 watch? That's insane. And then to think that they had like 5 of those, I'm like, that's just impossible.
Yeah, no one does that.
Nobody does that. But living in the life that I've lived and where I am today, dude, that is like, I am in so many rooms where 90% of the watches on a wrist is a Rolex.
Yeah,
I know so many people whose collection is either only Rolex or mostly Rolex.
Yep. 5,
6, 10 Rolex watches. That is so common.
Mm-hmm. All right, next
there's
up.
another one.
This is your video. So what your watch says about you in the first 7 seconds. This was 4 days ago.
Okay.
To whenever.
Great.
Gianluca says, this is pathetic. It's not the suit or watch that makes the man. Might wearing something give you a boost of confidence? Sure. But that won't change.
He contradicted himself already.
That won't change who you are, and that boost will be short-lived. If you walk into a room with a nice suit, you might feel confident, but after 15 minutes, that will fade and who you are will show. Ooh. So anyone who thinks wearing watches makes them better is just lying to themselves. Watches should complement the person you already are. They don't make you better. You make the watch look good by adding it to your already established persona. Never wear it for validation. I feel that people gravitate to watches because they are already the type of person who shows up early, who doesn't want distractions of a digital watch, people who live in a moment and want a watch that reflects the precision they take in their lives. By the way, I don't show up early. I wear a watch all the time.
Wow. So the very last sentence is basically what my video is about.
Mm-hmm. Your point.
So it was like he's made all of these points, which there's a couple of times he contradicted himself, and then landed on what the point of the video was. So the video is just about how people perceive you when you are wearing different types of watches in different situations. And whether you like that or not doesn't mean that it's not true. And the reality is it's true. You're being judged anytime that you walk into a room on how you talk, on what you wear, including watches. There's so many things that you're being judged on. I understand that something struck a nerve with you, but at the end of the day, I think we're both on the same page. Maybe rewatch the video.
So,
this is interesting.
so on Pride and Opinion, which is Nico's subreddit,
Okay.
someone asked a question: least favorite watch YouTuber. And I read through this. I was just interested to see what everyone was saying.
Wow.
I didn't know. I mean, I know that we're relevant in the watch space. I didn't know we were relevant enough to be. We're actually on this. Specifically,
I would imagine we're on this.
well,
That doesn't surprise me.
I don't want to spoil what's on here, but I thought it was really funny, and I wanted to show you live. So Jason has not seen this.
Okay, good.
This is his live reaction. If you scroll down just a little bit, you'll actually see a picture. There we go. I love MWC, which Mad Watch Collector. It's this dude from the Watch Pros and his bad toupee I can't stand. The way he speaks and his delivery feels like a scheme. Slimy, something is off. By the way, they're looking at your Hublot video with the two Hublots.
And Daffle21 said, I caught about 10 seconds of this dude today and thought the same thing.
Yeah,
his vibes were douchey.
Now there's more.
Oh, there's a bunch more comments.
The
Yeah, I can't wait to dive into this.
People, of course, talking about the mispronunciations and errors. Whatever.
Yeah, that dude
That
sucks.
dude sucks.
Yeah.
Complete douche telling people they're getting scammed by Rolex and Omega because a Casio time's better in the watch space, where most are relatively chill, at least by today's toxic social media standard. This guy is extra nasty and cringe. Can't imagine he has many friends.
You know what like energizes me when I see stuff like this? This is the truth. My life is amazing. I am blessed to be where I am. I am super appreciative of everything in my life. So these are people that don't know me, and it doesn't bother me when they say these things because it's really the exact opposite of how I am.
Except for the southern accent.
I will take a moment to share some things that I never share. I am one of the most giving people that I know, both with time and with money. I have an amazing friend network. I, get to live a great life with my wife and 2 children, and I get to do things that I really enjoy in business. I've got multiple successful companies. Our YouTube channel is finally in a spot where it's able to sustain a staff. And those are all amazing things. And so it's fine if somebody thinks that I'm douchey. Doesn't bother me at all. Anybody that knows me knows what kind of person I am. And can I be an asshole sometimes? Sure. But that doesn't mean that that people don't respect me or that they don't care about me or that I don't have great friends.
Yeah. I'll piggyback off of that. He's the biggest asshole in the whole world. Everyone's accurate. No, Jason's a very, I'll pat on the back. He's been a very good friend to me. I know we're half the age difference here, but we've become friends over time of not just being business partners, but actual good friends. And you can't really do that unless someone is personable and likable and a good person. And we've always rubbed off of each other in good ways. Do we disagree? Yes. Have we ever gotten, butt heads? Yes, absolutely. But he is one of the most giving and loving people that I've met.
And it's fine. I've done the same thing. I've been on the other side watching something and judge somebody. It's just natural human
tendencies.
It's just what you do. So.
It's like back to your point. Is it right? No, but people have their own perception on things. I do appreciate the one good comment we got on here that got downvoted. Regardless of what you think, he has one of the fastest growing channels out there. In May 25, he announced he had 10,000, and now he has over 73K, which this was 3 months ago.
A couple months ago. Yeah.
I don't mind him, but you have to take his content with a grain of salt, which is accurate, by the way.
That's very accurate.
Yeah, take everything that we do and say with a grain of salt. We're not saying we're the most perfect experts, whatever. Please go watch Teddy Balazar if you feel like that's the case.
Kind of piggybacking off of what that guy said. The whole reason that we started this YouTube channel is because I felt like there was a space to have somebody talk how they really felt. And you have to remember, a lot of content creators are scared to say how they really feel. And that is because they don't want to piss people off. They don't want to deal with negative comments. They don't want to lose a brand opportunity. There's a lot of layers why they won't say what they actually feel. As a team, we try really hard to stay true to what we think. And I think we've done a good job of that. And I understand that that's going to rub people the wrong way. I have my own opinion. It doesn't mean that it's right, but I want this to be a place that I can express that.
Yeah.
It's the whole reason we started it.
We are one of the bigger YouTube channels now. You know, obviously we've never really been in this position before. We're growing very well, which is good for us. But we really couldn't have done that with a lot of support. I know not everyone who watches this channel watches the other channel, but we do have a lot of members over here. And so we really do appreciate your support. The mean comments are so small to us that the big comments just really help drive our go. We love being able to collaborate and meet all these brands and these people, these watch collectors, and also be a part of that is a very beautiful thing, at least, you know, to me in the last 2 years that we've been doing this. So we're not going anywhere.
Yeah, overall it's very positive, and we're having a good time doing it. So we appreciate the support.
All that to say, thank you for watching this episode.
Yeah.
Thank you for being engaged and for watching this whole entire video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Let us know your favorite part, whether it was the mean comments or the pop swatch or Jason's southern accent. You know, what's your favorite one?
Or me cussing.
Yeah, cursing all the time.
Yeah.
Be a good role model. Okay. Bye, everyone. We enjoy.
Yeah.
We enjoy.
Yeah.
You guys enjoy as well.
See you later.